Mm.
Hi everyone, welcome to QNAP Live Broadcast. I'm Sin, your host for the topic today, and today we have Shella here because you know that for August it will be our QVR Pro month. So we have recently introduced the QVR Pro server and the NASpedia about how to set up the server and how to use the client for your PC version. And today we will show you the solution for business industry. And let's get into the slides first. And basically, the agenda will be like this. For the first one is we will let you know some requirement from business, like big companies or SMBs. And second, we will show you a short video, but I'm sorry that is in Chinese version, so I will just explain what is the video about. And then the third one will be the solution that how we can provide you, and that and the last thing, Shara will show you a live demo to let you know how to set up the QVR Pro and the QVR Pro client, the PC version. So we will start from the business security requirement. Basically, to run a business, we need to focus on several things. We have employees that we need to take care of them, and sometimes we need to purchase something that is necessary. So we need to have cost like control. And for a surveillance system, what we need to know is is the function enough, or if there are any fancy function that basically I won't be able to use that. And the second is the system data protection good enough. So basically, when you are using QNAP NAS, the second question is completely yes, because we have RAID and we have hybrid testing, we have snapshot, we have backup, we have encryption. So basically, your data file will be so safe in our NAS. And then if you are planning to have a surveillance system, you will also wonder, can the event like notify the user right at the moment, right?
Immediately.
Yeah, so in the surveillance industry, this is now we call a standard for event control. So basically, we also have this function. So we can reach three of the requirements for you, and then there are four major concerns like how does QVR Pro make the whole system, surveillance system better, and is it convenient to use? And then is the system stability good enough or not? Because you know that as a business or industry, the worst thing for them is like when everything shuts down,
Yeah, that
off power or something. The downtime will also cost a lot of loss of money or something. And how can we provide you a good solution? Like we have QVR Guard that when your primary NAS is down, and then the second NAS will take over the job and do the reporting for you. So what kind of industry will use this function most? I think like bank, hospital, because they are always taking videos or uploading like X-ray data files for their patient or for their customer. So the stability is very important for them, and that is how we can provide you. And the fourth will be the how does QVR Pro make the event management good. So later we will demo you the interface of our client PC version, and you will see how can we provide you the event notification with the screenshot and how easy that you can just like one click and you can see the playback, and of course you can make it another video so that you can save to other person. And why do we have to choose QVR Pro instead of like all the other NVR in the market, like Big Dahua or other brands? Because basically you have to know that when you are buying one NVR and put your hard disk inside that, you will only have the functions that as a NVR. You can record and you can send to output to like internet and something like that. But that is just an NVR. So when you are choosing our QVR Pro, you are buying something more than a NVR. It is also a NAS. So with the protection and with the encryption and with our failover system, you combine two things into one. So your CPU value is also higher than ever. So let's check on the video, and I will let you know what they are talking about. Basically, that is a like kindergarten.
Yeah, kindergarten.
Yeah,
in Taipei.
In Taipei, and I'm just asking the owner why she chose QNAP NAS instead of like the regular NVR system. Yeah, right. And she said that okay, let me see. Okay, because our NAS can not only do the NAS thing, save all the confidential data for the children and their parents. We can also give them all the video recording data whenever they want, and we also don't have to worry about if our hardware breaks. So that is a very good protection for us to use the system. And basically, we know that QNAP NAS is more than a NVR. It is also a NAS. So we think that we buy one machine and we can get two functions. That is very good for us. And that's all. That is all for the video. So we provide several of the business security solutions, and here is like successful case. It's like a pet store or something.
Pet store.
Yeah, in Taipei we have a chain store called like Fish in the Fish. Yeah, and it's a very big one, and it has like several floors. So this is one of the pet store, but not that brand I mentioned. It also has several floors, and it is using 32 of our cameras. And the thing is, they need to require the video record for 30 days. And you should know that under a 1080p resolution for 32 cameras, 1 second there will be like 64 megabyte of the recording space. So 64 times 60, that'll be around 1.8 gigabyte.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is only for 1 minute. So if that is for like 1 hour, so 1.8 gigabyte, you need to times like another 60, and then times like 24 for a day. So basically, you will need like over 10 terabyte to record, not maybe 10, maybe over like 100 of the terabyte to keep your recording data for 30 days. So imagine that if you're having a regular NVR, like 5 bay, okay, I'll give you 10-bay NVR. Can you do that for me?
I think it won't be available.
Yeah, but that is the advantage of using our QNAP NAS, because it is very easy for us to have expansion unit, something like our expansion unit we have. And we also have like VJ bar, and we can also use iSCSI function to expand the storage capacity. So even you only have just like one NAS, but you can still use the other of our functions to expand your storage capacity. So that is good enough for you to have the 30 days of your recordings in 180p.
Yeah.
Of course, you can choose to have 720p. You can still reach the standard, but the resolution will be just a bit lower. So what are they using like in the store? They have 12 fisheye camera and 12 like fixed length cameras. And speaking of the fisheye, Sheila will also let you know that she will do the demonstration. You will see we can do the DWAP for each of the fisheye. So you have one fisheye, and you can DWAP for like a regional DWAP, right?
Yeah.
So that means you will be like having 8 of the cameras, and each of the DWAP you can choose where you want the picture is, the video is.
Yeah.
So it is very like
you can focus on every angle.
Yeah. So we will see that later. And outside of the store, like a regular cameras only recording on the off time, I think, like over 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning.
When they're not open.
Yeah, so they can also send event notification if there's any alarm input or motion detection, something like that. And for the third part is the private. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Okay. And because the managers can use the QVR Pro and cell phone version to like see the live view, playback, or like do all the configurations to their NAS QVR Pro system, but for their employees, they can like watch the live view only. So that is
Yeah.
how we can provide you the
Mhm.
authority limitation to each of the accounts. So that is our successful story in the market. And in this story, what do we provide? We have four of the products. We can see from the left hand side, the green part is the QVR Pro, which is the server part. Once you have set all the IP camera and the event in the server, then you can use the blue part QVR Pro PC version, and the red part is that red, right? Yes, QVR Pro client version to do all the monitoring thing.
Mhm.
And then since they are a chain store and they have 32 cameras and they don't want the downtime because
Mhm.
they want to protect their whole system like
Mhm.
24/7. So they have the QVR guard, which means they have at least two of our NAS,
Mhm.
so they can have enough storage space. And then one NAS will be the QVR Pro. The other NAS will be the QVR Guard. When the QVR Pro is down, maybe like power shutdown or something,
Yeah,
the
this doesn't work.
the QVR Guard will like automatically take over the job to do the rest of the recording thing until the QVR Pro is recovered. So they are using four of our products to make the whole system running nonstop.
Yeah.
And Shara will do the rest the next page, and she will tell us what are the other solutions that we can provide to the business industry.
Okay, so first of all, for small and medium business, QVR Pro got a built-in channels, which is for free. They just got a QNAP NOS and download QVR Pro, and they have 8 channels, which is really enough for a small business.
Yeah.
But if you have a larger store and you need more, you can purchase the QVR Pro Gold, and it will let you play back the video recording with QVR Pro client for more than 30 days. Yep. Also, you can, if you have more cameras up to 128 cameras, you can still purchase the camera channel extension license.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think 128 will be enough for us.
Of course, very enough, I think.
Okay, so let's go to the next page. Okay, so QVR Pro can record a video and the sound, and we support more than 5,000 different IP cameras. We got PC client and mobile versions, and it will be the same user interface on the PC, which is very convenient. You don't have to learn so many kinds of versions. Yeah. 6 versions are supported. 6 platforms are supported, sorry. iOS, Windows, SD Station, Ubuntu, iOS, and Android. And with the client, you can still, just one click and you can switch between the live and playback.
Sure.
Yeah. So for the next, we will focus on the PC client. So the PC client, you can, for example, I want to focus on the front gate. I can larger the scale of the front door cameras, and I can have more attention on it. Yep. And also we have a view. You can use the sequential mode, and it will rotate the view, so you can view like 6 to 7 cameras, a lot of cameras at the same time. Yep. For the storage setting, it's impossible for you to know that how many volume I need in the first time. But QVR Pro, once you set up, you can still edit. You can expand the volume after maybe it's
almost full.
Yeah. You can still expand it. It's very flexible. It helps you a lot. Since QNAP knobs is also you can also do something for storage. Yeah,
and in our later version, the newer version 4.2.5 of QTS, you can enlarge or like seize down your volume size. So that is more flexible than ever. You can just like choose to expand your storage space today, and maybe next month you think that I don't need that much, so you can just seize it down by yourself.
Okay, let's go to the next page. So for the normal and event recording, if you don't have a large volume and you think, it's impossible to record 24/7, you can just set up event recording. it will only record the things that when event happens, and you just keep the important moments. And if you don't want to miss any second, just set up normal recording. It will record 24/7. Yeah. Okay. So for the schedule recording, which is quite important, if you want to secure your shop when it's closed, and you can schedule the recording from 8 to 10. Yeah. So it only records the time when you are not at the store. So when something happened, you get the notification, and you can go and check the recording. Yeah. Okay, which is the privilege setting. It's impossible to give everyone the same setting of the privilege. So you can set up, if I'm the boss, I can view all the cameras. But you see on the draft, if it's just a clerk, it's just a small employee, you can just give him or her the privilege of viewing the channel 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So here, camera need a lot of bandwidth, and sometimes it may cause the drop frame. So with the QVR Pro, you can use the network interface assignment. It will help you to avoid this situation. Yeah.
And also we have several interesting things. Like the first one is the region of interest, which we basically will call it ROI. You can see the square, the red square and the blue square inside of this channel, which means that you can enlarge that part and into another channel, into another like video, and then you can scroll your mouse to enlarge or make it small. And then you can also adjust the size of the square by press your left click, and then you can move and like re-square the part.
Yeah.
And then
you can resize it.
So maybe you just want to see all the live view of this channel, but there are some parts in that channel you want to put more focus on. You can use the region of interest. And the fisheye DWAP, like we just mentioned, that we can have the regional DWAP, and we can have, I think the maximum quantity is like 8 for each of the fisheye, and you can also have the panorama type, and you can also do the cruising function. So the panorama will like keep moving like I don't know what that is, but like some people will hang the logo on the barber shop and keep turning.
Yeah.
That thing. It's very interesting. And basically this is by our software. So the function is by the software. So if even if you're buying a fisheye that only has one camera that can take care of the 360 degree, we can still help you to do all the DWAP function. So you don't have to worry about that. And then we also have the monitoring video wall, which is the TV wall. Now in this version, the current QVR Pro version, we can provide you 2 of the output. So one can be your primary monitor to do the live view thing, and then the other can be like maybe EMAP or event monitor or something like that. And in the next future version, I think maybe we will release the version before the end of this year, I think, and you can have at least you can have maximum 8 of your outputs from your computer. So basically, we will also release the hardware requirement standard when the newer version is released. So you can create your own TV wall, and at the same time, you can still use the HDMI output from your NAS, and then you can create a flexible usage by yourself and by your internet environment. And then this is the flexible monitor mode. You see the live and playback. Well, basically there's another tab called sync. It's YNC, I think, and we can see at the laptop side there are pages that you have set for your arrangement of your channel, and no matter in which page, you can all click at one channel and do the playback thing. So you can have rest of the channels in live, and then only that specific channel in playback. But what if you want to get all the cameras do the playback at the same time? You just check on the sync button and all the camera will go to the playback time just as the same as the first camera you have clicked for the back playback. And that is very flexible. So we also can do mostly the same thing that you do on your PC side, you can also do on your mobile side. But the only thing is that for the playback mode, you can only do the playback for single channel at one time, right?
No, we got sequential mode. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, for playback, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very easy for you to to swipe your monitor and you can check for the live view and playback for the other channel. Yeah, and that is very easy to share. Well, some people will have the concern that if I want to share you my video, do I have to give you the IP address of my MVR or my NAS? But actually, you don't have to. You just have to click on each of your channel and create a short URL with or without the password, and then you send the URL to your friends or your customer. Like this case, that is a like Pat's Hotel. And for example, if I have a golden retriever and I send him to the Pat Hotel, and they will give me a URL with a password, and 3 days after, I took my baby home, and the hotel just need to change the password and keep the same URL. So I won't be able to log in to check the other docs, and the new user, the new customer can use the same URL with a new password to check their babies. So I think that is a very good function. You don't really have to share any of your IP address to your customer. So that is the point. And of course, the motion detection with our webcam. The newer version, which should be released in, I think, before the end of the server motion should be.
Server motion should be available
end of August.
Within a month, I think.
Yeah, I think it's coming out soon. So now, even if you're using the USB camera, you can still download our QUSB Cam 2, this app in our app center. And then once your NAS detects the USB camera, and you can use your QVR Pro to add this camera into your QVR Pro. And then with our server motion, you can now use your QVR Pro to detect the pixel, the change of the pixels, and then you can do the motion detection with your maybe the USB camera you already have. Then you don't have to buy another USB camera. And here are several new solutions, other solutions from our QVR Pro. So shall I tell you about that?
Okay, so the data protection are pretty important for the surveillance. Since it's a NAS, we got RAID, which will help you to back up the data. And second, QVR Pro supports spare volume. When the spare volume starts to work, it's when the main volume stops working. And the spare volume will start automatically. You can automatically record a video to the spare volume. So if the whole NAS doesn't work, we got QVR Guard. QVR Guard will take over the recording task and just don't let the recording stop. And also we got RTRR, which is real-time remote
replication.
Yeah. Okay. So more introduced to QVR Guard. QVR Guard is a failover management. When your NAS doesn't work, even if the power shut down, the storage doesn't work, it will automatically take over the task. And it makes sure your recording doesn't stop, which is kind of important for surveillance.
Of course, we also support the edge recording. So if your camera can install the SD card inside that, you can also enable the edge recording function. But don't use PoE. Because if there's no connection, there's also no power. Even if your camera has, like edge recording or you are using the QVR card, there's still no way for you to get any recording like that.
Okay, let's go to our next slide. So to make sure to know what's going on for your NAS is very important. Same as QDS, QVR Pro has its own dashboard. It don't only show the information of the NAS, but also the camera, the storage. And it's the same on the mobile. You can still check on the mobile for the camera status, not status, which is quite important.
Yeah. And of course, we also have the EMAP function, which is also comes as a standard. But for what's more interesting is that we can set up for different sound for different camera. So maybe we can arrange like this: first floor alarm sound 1, and second floor alarm sound 2, and second 3, another sound of the alarm. So once you have any of the event, and maybe you don't really need to check for the monitor while you are looking at a live view. You just listen to the sound and you will know, okay, now is the event happened in second floor, and I can just directly check the live view of the TV wall of the second floor. So then I won't lose other of the, like the playback or the other of the notification. It's very easy to use. And also we have the event engine, like since we can support like 5,000, more than 5,000 of the IP camera, we need to make sure the integration is good enough for every user to use. So we have we have motion, we have IVS, we have alarm input, output, and we have, what do we have? Okay, we have PIR detection, which is very important because PIR combines with motion, that is called human detection or something. And we can let you know if the recording space is full or nearly full, or the connection is breaking, or now it's getting recovered. We can all take that as different of the event. And then the event is at the left hand side, that is called the trigger. And then at the right hand side is called action. So it's like IFTTT, if this then that. So when the triggers happen, we can set up different kinds of the action. Like if channel 1 is having event, and I can make like channel 2, 3, 4 doing the recording, and then since the channel 3 is a PTZ, I can set the PTZ go to preset point that I have set already, and then at the same time I can trigger the alarm output, maybe that is a buzzer or a siren from camera 2, and at the same time I will send a notification to the client user, and also I can take a screenshot and then send the screenshot into an email. That is just like a trigger from one camera, and I can do all the action at the same time. So that is our flexibility, which, as I've known, that is really rare in the surveillance industry now in the market. And of course, we can support you the notification method, no matter is in your cell phone or in your CMS PC site. So which we just mentioned, no matter is for notification or give you a EMAP and show you where the event is happening. It's all in one cell phone, very easy to use. And of course, since we have different kinds of the QVR family applications, we have server, we have guard, and we have PC side, we have mobile side. Of course, we will have the center side. So from the successful story we mentioned, it has like several chain stores. So they can set one store, maybe the center shop as the primary NAS, then gather all the system logs from the rest of the NASes. So we can set one of the NAS with our QVR center, and then all the other NASes can be the client and just connect to the IP address of the center, and then for the login, logout, or other system log will all send back to the primary NAS. So that is a good way for a primary user to manage all the internet access in and out, and they can export that in an Excel file. And this is the bookmark part. Exporting export recordings, that is a very standard part, so I won't talk too much about that. But bookmark is a very interesting thing. When we are checking on the playback, you see here's a yellow part in the downside of the playback, and we can bookmark this place and name it maybe as the date and maybe give it a name. And when we are checking for something like maybe entrance system, and when your employees are like enter the company with their RFID card, you don't really want to see the event pop out, but you want to have the system log. So we can set for, you can drink some water, it's okay. So we can set this as a bookmark, or we can set the third-party product metadata inside of the bookmark. We call it like metadata log, something. And then when we want to check for the event that we really don't want it to pop out, but we still want the record. We still want the record and the log. We can just bookmark it, and when we're going to search, you see that is that a microscope or horoscope or something?
Not sure. Just icon.
Click
the icon.
Yeah, click the icon, and you just type in the specific name, and then you will get that recording. So you don't really have to, like go scroll and move the time bar to the specific time. And then that is a very easy to be understood structure. Like the right hand side is your QVR Pro and your QVR God. You can, the QVR Pro client you can use in WAN or in LAN. And then the QVR God, I will suggest you to have the system in the same internet environment. And the left hand side, basically, most of the users, they will just connect their IP cameras into a switch, and then the switch go to one of the RJ45 port of the NAS, and then that is your whole system. As long as you can make sure that your NAS can go onto the internet, then your QVR Pro client, no matter it's PC version or the cell phone version, you can all get the access into your NAS and then check everything you need. And even if you want your IP camera to be set from another IP address, that is also okay from a remote site. Of course, no problem. Just make sure your IP camera is connected to that router and the port has been opened. It has its own public IP. You can just use our QVR Pro to connect to that IP address. Then it's done. Okay, so the next part will be the demonstration from Sheila. Let's see what she's going to show us.
Okay.
Now, sorry, we need to have
Is it connecting to my PC?
Not yet, but we can make it. We can make it right now. Can we turn off the microphone for a bit? Okay, I'm sorry we have encountered a little bit problem, but now it's okay. So let's check on the demo.
Okay, so this is our QVR Pro website. So here you can see, here are the camera configurations. So here, it's a share link. Okay, so here you will get a URL as you said in the web, in the Path Store, right? I've already used this link. So we can just use the browser and you can check on the QVR Pro live video.
Yeah.
Okay. So here are the recording. You can see we got different configurations. You can do different settings. I think it's all in the NASpedia, right? Okay. So we can just go through it and definitely go check on Sam's NASpedia. It got more detailed explanation. Okay. So here's the motion detection. This webcam doesn't support the motion from the cameras. But with the QVR Pro, here you can see the detector is QVR Pro. It means that we got the IVA to make the motion detection possible. So here is the detection area. You can edit anything is possible. Okay. So here's the let's check on event. So as Sam just mentioned about our event system, we got a lot of events.
Yes.
And you can check on the cameras. And we also got the actions with the recording, notification, email, SMS, everything you need. Okay. So here's the log. So the log is for the IT user. If you want to check any event, it's just happened. Okay, motion detection stop on camera 7. Motion detection on camera 7 by QVR Pro. So it got a lot of logs for you to check on. Okay, and the license, as I just mentioned, we got 8 camera channel that is for free. They didn't install any license now. And if you want to have more playback times, more features, more camera channels, you can come and purchase the QVR Pro Gold. Yep. So all the license information is over here, or you can check on our QNAP website. We got a detailed FAQ for it.
Yes.
Okay, so we can check on the client now. So this is the client. We got EMAP, cameras in the same view. Here is the view. Here's the cameras. And you can adjust it. And even you just drag any cameras inside. Oh, it's the same camera. Let's change one. Okay. I can adjust it. Different angles. It's very convenient. You also have the motion, the event.
Detection.
You got the event list over here. Yep, and you can see the icons is changing for the EMAP. Okay, it's very convenient. Okay, so you also can have the live and playback at the same. So we can have it connect to this is night, and you can check the live video at the same time. Okay, also this is our fish ID route. You can check on any angle if someone passed by this here, and this is the whole view. So the same, we got Naspedia, which has more detail for QVR Pro clients information. It's already available, right?
Yeah, of course. I just done it yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome job.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is just a brief introduction for QVR Pro and QVR Pro client. For more detail, please go check on Naspedia.
Okay, so let's go back to the slides. So I will do a simple recap. Well, basically, this page is just to tell you the difference between like having an NVR and having a NAS as a surveillance system. So we can check that if we are just buying a conventional IP camera and surveillance system, which is a NAS, NVR, and then we purchase another CMS in your computer, basically the cost will be higher. And then basically your NVR can just do the NVR thing. And I don't think that is so-called the most like, how can I say that? Okay, that is the standard way, but you have a better way.
Yeah.
So if you are choosing our NAS, basically you are buying one NVR, but more than an NVR, because that is basically a NAS. So you can store all the other confidential files and your personal data, something like pictures, videos, or the data files inside of a company. And since we can provide a higher level of data security, encryption, hardware, hard disk break, or the data snapshot and the backup, and then we have public hybrid cloud for you to do the protection of your data file. So I think the value is much more higher than having a conventional IP surveillance system. Okay, and for a different scale of the user, we provide several different kinds of items. If you are like a SMB user, you might just need one. From 1 to like 16 of the channels, you can choose our TV S951X because that has its own HDMI output for one, and you have 5 of the 3.5-inch hard disk that you can do RAID 5 or 6 to protect one of your hard disk file. And at the same time, you still have 4 of the SSD to make you run the function of our Q tier, and then you can store all your event recording inside of our Q tier so that you can have a better read, like a call out of your event even recording speed. And then the HDMI can just directly output to your monitor, so you can use the monitor as a live view, and then maybe use another computer for your CMS management. And if you are big, if you want to run a bigger size of your TV or something, you can choose to have our TV S1282 because that is using a i7 processor, which has a very high performance, and that is 64 gigabyte of your DDR RAM. And it also has more hard disk, which it contains 8 of the 3.5 and 4 of the SSDs, so you can have a better storage capacity. Then, since you have 3 of the HDMI outputs, you can have a regular TV wall, one for your live view, one for your event, one for your EMAP. So basically, everything will be just like done and perfect with this TVS 1282. And if you are a enterprise level users, or you are in a bank industry or like military industry, you need all of your data file to be safe as long as you can. And you might need our TDS like 16489 euro. It's a very long number. I don't understand how can a company name their own NAS like as long as like, even no one will even remember. So it has 16 of your hard disk tray, and basically our flexibility of expand the storage space is very good. You can use actual extend unit, or you can use iSCSI function to get the storage space through the internet connection. So we call it iSCSI, or our exclusive function VJBot. So you can connect up to like 8 of your VJBot and with another 1 expansion unit. So it's very easy for you to reach the PB level storage. So you can save your data file as long as you want. And we also have other of the NAS that can provide you to use the RTX, or to use the burn every data file into a Blu-ray CD. So if you are an enterprise that already using the Blu-ray Glacier solution, you can also consider our NAS to be one of your partner to give you a best IP surveillance system solution with a NAS function on it. So that will be all the introduction for our live broadcast today. So let's go back to live. And thanks to Shara by introducing the NAS video so hard for me.
Thanks for inviting me. And you did do a good job on the NAS video.
I have to do my job, I think. Yeah, so that is all for the introduction. If you liked our movie, please subscribe our channel. And if you want to check for the movie again, we can go here. We can go here, the live.qnap.com, and you can check for this video, and you will see the PowerPoint slide at the right hand side. You just click to each of the pages, and you can go to that part of the movie. Yeah. So thank you for your watching. I'm Sam, and she's Shala. We will see you next time on QNAP Live Broadcast. Bye bye.